2, 1, X fucking implosions. All right, let's go. Is the game laggy?
Not really. It's worse.
Yeah.
It's laggy.
Yeah. Gonna
It's
reduce
framey.
we're gonna reduce the quality of the streaming. I'm sorry, I can't record like 2 or like 3 1080p sources. That's a bit of an overkill. It should still look fine, but yeah, this should still look fine, and
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
it's way better. Smooth. All right. Well, what
There's
happened
some
here?
movement there.
Let's get back to this. I kind of lost my brains. Right. Oh my fucking god, it's loud. Don't die. Right. So here again, you see him flip. You should see him flip. What does that tell you?
But he can't reach it.
Can't reach it. He can't contest. He can't turn around. He has no control over his car for that moment. Which means the ideal path for you would be to take it in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And position yourself that way. In the meantime, while you're doing this, you know that he can't immediately contest the ball, so don't need to pay attention to the ball. What you need is information of what's happening there. Is anyone gonna come in and yoink that ball away from you? Or you can ask your team, is anyone coming?
Yeah, I think they called time, but I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah, if they, yeah, again, I know it's the game was kind of like late and you don't remember all of the details, and that's perfectly fine. That's that's perfectly
I know
fine.
I didn't see him flip though. I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. Can you get to that ball at this moment?
Like I can't. I have 18 boosts.
Yeah,
not
18
yet at least.
Yeah, not yet. Which is basically that moment of not yet is when you try to use and utilize as much information as you can during that little bit of time. I know it's very hard, and I know it's super fucking frustrating, and it's difficult to get it. And I'm not expecting you to get it immediately or to do everything immediately. But trying to understand and recognize the time when you can look is the difference between making it and not making it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
and I
if you-
should have seen him flip. I didn't see that at that point.
I explained, I'm going to explain this about flipping because Gooch wasn't there. Gooch, if the ball is directly above you, you don't flip. If opponents have the ball, you don't flip. You know why?
Because you can't control your car.
Yeah, on the moment, I mean, I'm glad you're listening. The duration of your flip is where you have no control over your car at all. You made a flip, you committed to a, what is it, like half a second or like a second? How long the flip takes? I think it's like something between half a second and a second. You committed to that time frame of movement. And that time frame of movement, if your opponent shoots on goal, passes, you can't do shit.
Yeah.
Like flipping is really good when repositioning. Flipping is good when you have time. Flipping is good when you want to move around or etc. But you also need to be aware of when and how to flip. I know it's fucking weird and you don't think about it, but learning how to drive is so fucking important.
Yeah.
And they made when I first came in here and told them that they need to learn how to drive, they made fun of me. Like, what do you mean? Like, I know how to drive, I know how to flip, I know how to half flip. I'm like, yeah, well, there's a lot more to it than just, driving. And including mini pads, pathing, how you choose to get from point A to point B. Right, and that's the worst thing that you can possibly do. And that's 100% on Mittaen, because Mittaen should not push here. Without a call in advance. So you could have positioned yourself better. You could have potentially maybe even back passed the ball that way. Or shot it on the backboard. All of which would have been...
I tried to make it high. I went upside down as well, but I had no boost and no power.
Yeah, which is normal. Which, if you have no boost or your power, making a shot lower rather than higher is a much more efficient strategy. So if you want to get the ball higher, sometimes it's best to use the 18 boost to maybe try and get a pinch.
Yeah, or
down.
doink it.
Yeah, or doink it as well. Like it's just multiple different scenarios of what you can possibly do.
Yeah. I have been shooting upside down lately though, because you said that against PSG as well.
Yeah, like
Try and shoot upside down.
Because it gives you slightly more. It's not always worth it to go upside down and use that time, etc. But it's so nice because it gives you slightly more control. Slightly more control.
You go a bit under.
and you go a little bit under, which gives you that tiny little bit of like, instead of going like this, you go, you go like this.
Yeah.
And that tiny little bit of difference is just, what can make between an arc. So here, Mittaen should have called, I got it, in advance. Or in theory, you should have actually paid attention to Tahz. Like, you see this situation, what do you think is gonna happen?
Yeah, I think I called I got it because I saw Danny just flip, I think, or just commit to a block. So I tried to put it on backboard.
And now here comes the worst part of all. That's fine. This is fine. This is fine. Impact. Where do you aim the ball? Where should you aim the ball? Sorry.
Left maybe a bit.
Here or here? These are your only two options. And what did I mention, guys? When we scrimmed against Cheerio, I said something very specific and important. Can you remember that?
Try to do 2-point plays.
Stop making single point plays. Perfect. So let me give a quick run brief down of what a point play is and how it works. Right? So let's use the empty half. So I might not explain that in detail to you guys. So to anyone actually here. So yeah. So basically like this. When you shoot the ball, that's a single point of contact. You shoot the ball. When you shoot on the backboard and you follow up, that's a 2-point play. A contact here, a contact here. That increases the difficulty of the situation, but it also increases the difficulty of your opponents to read it. Like if you pass to your teammate passes back, you pass to the backboard, and your teammate follows up on the backboard. That's 1, 2, 3, 4-point play. That confuses the shit out of everyone on existence because it's insanely complicated, and most of the time it's very difficult to track effectively when the ball flays from left to right and when it goes to the backboard. So you don't need to score in one go. That's fine. You won't be able to score every single goal. You won't be able to stop every single goal. That's not the idea. The idea of that is, let's say if there's an opponent here, opponent has this covered, and maybe it has this covered, you can shoot here and force your opponent to shift his circle maybe to here. Can I have my pen back? And a color? Thank you. And to shift it to here. And what happens here then?
The goal is more open.
You have this tiny little bit of space that's suddenly open.
Yeah.
Right? It's not much, but it's an opportunity. And now, you manage to get the ball. Like let's say you hit the ball like this, the ball bounces here, but the opponents start moving towards the right side. Maybe one of you comes in here and again like taps it to the other side, right? And you have a teammate that's already here. It's calls opposite. And that guy who just tapped it can move in like this. And now suddenly opponents are flying from left to right. And then it's, you can push it like that. And you have an opportunity. And this is like a ridiculously complicated situation, but it's not impossible to do. It's quite simple, right? You push opponents out, you make 1-point touch, you make a 2nd-point touch, you make a 3rd-point touch, and you make a 4-point touch. This is a 4-point play. It's the exact same thing as passing from one side to another. But except in this scenario, it's a lot more complicated and you use a lot more geometry in it, etc. You don't need to score in one go. You don't have to. It's fine. But if you don't give the ball away to opponents, if you don't smack to them, then that's way better and way more efficient. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Because what did you think Impact's gonna happen?
To be honest, didn't see Neshito was pushing. It looked like he was staying in goal.
I mean, it's pretty clear from all the way here. Yeah, and this flip.
See it when...
Yeah, this flip is a little bit questionable. Because if they had a big fat clear, it's fine. I mean, this is not too bad. I'm just nitpicking tiny little bit of details, so don't worry about it too much. That's still a good back pass. But I mean, I guess I do agree that it's tough to see, but at the same time, you kind of need to learn to see that.
Mhm.
Right? You like either way, if you try to shoot on goal, it's not gonna he's gonna clear it. Even if he wasn't pushing, he's gonna clear it. But aiming somewhere here would give your team a little bit of time to reposition. Remember, the longer the ball travels, the more time your team has to move around. Ball travel time is also your team's rotation time. Let's get back to Tahz for a few more situations. Yikes.
And it was so awkward. I wanted to go for this, and then I got called off, and then
Good. And then what you wanted to go for this, you got called off, then what do?
I wanted to go back post, but then the ball came again.
Okay, so you have two options here. You can say to Mittaen no,
Yeah, true.
because it's easier for Mittaen to back out than it is for you to back out.
Yeah.
You can counteract the call. It's like, no, I got it. I'm there.
Yeah, I have to maybe do that more often.
You can do that more often if you think you have a better chance. And here, the ball came to you, but like, I guess Impact theoretically should have that, and it's not a big threat, and you can just leave it.
Yeah.
I can see why you would be going for it. This would require more comms analysis, etc. I mean, this isn't bad. It just looks bad. It's
Yeah.
kind of not ideal. Also, don't flip away.
No, that was
front flip.
accident.
You want a front flip here. Like this is if you front flip here, you pinch it out.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to do that. I misclicked. My hands were really cold that day, so I made a few misclicks and stuff.
Good clear. Good touch. Good clear. Nice touch impact. Is Mittaen moving up? This is awkward. Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, that bounce was unfortunate. You could have seen that it's not going to be ideal.
Even then, I thought that was going to bounce more towards the
Yeah.
net.
I
Not-
thought
Yeah,
straight
like
down the middle.
sometimes it's just like
weird.
sometimes when it's just a minuscule to the right, it bounces inwards. Other times
Yeah.
it doesn't.
I thought that was going to bounce towards the net, not just straight middle down.
yeah, I thought the same thing, which is why I said unlucky. But that's a good recovery and a good block. I like that. You should have went for the left boost, I think. I guess you got like if he wouldn't have bumped you here.
Yeah, then I would have probably gone for it.
Yeah.
Because I flipped to the left, so I would have gone to the boost if he didn't.
Okay, that's good. Good decision, good leave.
I made the decision too late, maybe. I should have maybe already went.
You
bit
can't. You can't.
It was hard. 'cause
You
could have done
can't.
both.
I mean, like you pushing this far up. I mean, it's kind of scary. You made a good decision here because he couldn't get like if he got even a slightly better touch like here, you're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
So that's fine. Like your other option is to give them all the space in the world and back out.
Yeah. Just go back post and just wait.
Yeah, but that's not ideal. That's so bad against these teams. So you actually trying and reading and pushing this is a smart idea. More of that. Even if you can't 100% get the ball, it's at least gonna make your opponents be aware of your existence, and they might not make an ideal touch, or might panic, or might etc. You know?
Yeah. All right.
don't leave them again. Don't leave them miles of space. If you can't, if you have two teammates going back, if you have teammates rotating around, try to push forward. Try to get as much pressure in there as possible. Even if it's not, even if it's 20% success, it's not zero. You don't let them do what they want, and that's the ideal scenario.
I think even Mittaen or Impact just called like, I'll go back quick. So I knew I could have went.
And that's good. And this decision was good. Like here, it's a good decision.
Alright.
The execution was absolutely horrible, but the decision was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate playing with cold hands as well. Sucks.
Let's look. So you use 80 boost to get 100.
That's just strat.
I mean,
just
he
think about
recovered
it.
well though.
Yeah, I mean he recovered well.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean you can just go down, land on the ground, land on the ground. So land on the ground, collect mini pads, and go like here.
I thought Anna would back out, but like he can't reach the ball. But I thought he would back out, and I wanted to take his mid boost, so Mittaen had time, but it didn't happen that way.
And that's the difference in thought process between headless chickens and decent players.
Yeah, because a normal person would go back, because he can't reach it.
Yeah,
But why is he
that's.
bumping Mittaen? There's no teammate around him.
I mean, there is a teammate around him. Like that decision. Like that's the like here. That's why. Did you guys watch your own replays? Did you watch the games that I asked you to study and pay attention? You actually did, right?
Yeah, I gave
That's,
you my homework.
Impact is the only one who didn't do that.
Yeah, my bad. I was gonna do it on Friday, I think, but
Yeah,
I
but you
didn't
should have
the
done it on
replays.
Sunday.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know I had family, so didn't do it.
you can talk to your cousin and do your homework. That's what you do, right?
I don't know.
I can find 100 excuses not to do something, but I can also find 100 excuses to do something. You only need one excuse to do something instead of 1,000 excuses not to do something, right? I know that doing homework in Rocket League is a fucking monk ass and it's retarded to some degree, but like, it is so important to study your opponents. Right. Let's read to what Tahz wrote and see how that aligns with Mittaen's thoughts. Okay. So
Oh, I didn't even give time.
Was it this one?
so here's the thing. I don't want this. I don't care about this. I
Yeah,
can
I
do
know.
this myself. Like I do this myself and everything's quite obvious. I want this, which is a summary. But let's look through this. Maybe it has some valid points in here as well, right? So I should have made
Bottom time, by the way.
should have made a decision either push straight ahead or not even push at all, being take time to pass on. Okay, I don't have time
I
to
had a,
observe the
I
situations
had a
like that.
different replay, I think. I got the second or third.
These were the things that stood out for me. We have a lot of balls which we can't. We gave a lot of balls away which we can't do against these teams because you will have no time getting back or getting boost because they attack so fast. Correct. We're not ready for every ball which they were. We talked about the 2-point planning, right? If you're not sure about if someone's gonna miss the ball, send a person for a hit and send a person for a miss.
Yeah. Okay.
Our comms were really weak and made us double commit a lot. That was a Yex. That's true. We didn't have someone who attacked in defense, and it looks like we had 3 goalies and had all the space to work with. We're literally talking about this right now. We were spaced out either too much or not enough. That is also true. It's very difficult to learn spacing against super headless chickens. Well, who's making that annoying noise of crackling the mic? And
I don't hear it.
anyway, we are playing as 3 solo players. I mean, that's essentially what it is. Like, if you don't communicate well enough, if you are too passive, if you don't work with each other or play around each other, you become solo standard players, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at Mittaen, which is this is what I want. This is what I want. Giving away too much space, no push when there's 3 back, just waiting for the ball to come back. That's a point that aligns with Tahz. It's good, which means it's a good analysis. Decision making, waiting too long, waiting for a short amount of time, plus less hesitation. We talked about this. I talked about how to move up faster, how to move up simpler. So that's good. It's correct. Giving away too much space, no push when there's 3 back, just waiting for the ball to come back. That's a point that aligns with Tahz. It's good, which means it's a good analysis. Decision making, waiting too long, waiting for a short amount of time, plus less hesitation. We talked about this. I talked about how to move up faster, how to move up simpler. Finishing our opportunities, missing open nets. Well, I'm sorry, gentlemen, I cannot fucking score goals for you. To save my life, I cannot do that. You
Yeah.
need to hit the fucking ball, okay?
Fucking miss it.
But that's why we're practicing mechanics, and that's why I said a couple days ago that we need to absolutely start getting our game in, play more six-mans, be a little bit more selfish. Play a
It
little
was
bit...
really good what you did. Because my mechanics are good again.
Yeah. Like you, so here's what happens when you play in a team. When you play in a team a lot, you start doing passively something that's called putting responsibility away from yourself to other people, your
Yeah.
teammates, because you know you can trust them, you can rely on them, and that's good. That's good in a lot of scenarios. But the problem with that comes in is that you cannot effectively play the game because you become too reliant. You will not make solo plays. You will not push for a lot of high quality plays because you know, oh, I can just make a touch and my teammate's gonna do it. No, every single play that you make has to be high quality, strong.
Mhm.
That's why I want you to play six-mans. That's why I want you to play a little bit of solo, so you be a little bit selfish when you need to. That's so important, and it also helps with your mechanics and etc. Panic a lot in defense when you can take time. Just shooting the ball away when there's time plus space to dribble and get a good flick. I saw Mittaen doing that in our Tahz games. You literally killed the ball on the goal line and you just left it there and waited. That was the biggest balls I've ever seen in my life. And that's really good. Like the ball was here, pretty much. And that's it. Like even if the ball is here, it's still on the field. You still have time and space to work with. Use that. I mean, it's you kind of, you know, most likely don't have a lot of time and you need to flick it away, make a better quality play, better quality touch. But if you take time to make that touch, that's what makes the difference. Pushing too far in midfield when they clear, so we need to go back instead of waiting a bit more back and being able to go up for it. We talked about this. Paying attention to your opponents. Like when you can't hit the ball or you can't touch the ball's far away, your teammate is making a play. Your job as a player is to pay attention and look for information at opponents, at the ball, potential travels, potential opportunities where you can go, where opponents can go, so that they can, you know, that they don't get free reign on the field, so you can go in and contest them. And that's why I wanted you to watch from their perspective, because it makes it so much easier to notice your mistakes when you're playing from the point of view of a person that's beating you.
Yeah.
Not thinking about follow-up touches for yourself, teammate when making a hit. You're shooting away the ball away when there's an opportunity to follow up on someone. I think I even wrote it in the notes that we don't plan our hits in advance, which is, you know, it's difficult, it's not easy, but it's something that we need to do a little bit more, and we need to stop smacking the ball for the sake of smacking it. Make it with a purpose. Put a purpose on that ball. Whether it's a pass, if it's a banger clear, it's also a purpose. It's to relieve the pressure.
Yeah.
But it has to be a fucking banger. It can't be just a wimpy hit, you know, like this. Don't do that. Going up for the ball
over the midline.
Yeah, it has to be
beyond.
way, like it has to be like way high, like way high. Going up when the ball's out of reach. Again, this relates to the same topic. Paying attention to your opponents before going up. You will always have time, even just a split second before going up, to pay attention and look infield. That's the time that you need to learn how to use and utilize. Leaving the ball when there's a free hit. That's really difficult. That's good that you notice, but that's so difficult to do as a team. And you did that here as well. With Mittaen calling off Tahz multiple times, but sometimes you can also say no if you think you have a better decision, and that's fine. If you make a mistake, that's also fine. It's learning experience. Even in a tournament, that's fine. One goal should not be a demotivation force. One goal should not make a difference in your play. No goals should make a difference in your play, to be honest, but kind of hard. Going up for a ball when there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it to go up. There's no reason for the ball to go up. Going up for the ball when there's no reason for it to go up. Yeah, the ball just goes up for no reason. I just decided to go up.
Why does the ball go up?
Well, fuck me. I guess I'm up in the air now. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just making fun of a little bit of English. Yeah. When there's no reason, when there is no reason to go up for it.
Yeah, I know.
Like this goes here. There you go.
Yeah, that was. You know what I meant. That's
Yeah.
that's,
yeah. To be honest, I do the same sometimes. So I know how you feel for that. I do the same thing sometimes as well. It's like I just mix the words up. It's like it's at least you use the right words, okay? Yeah, at least you use the right words, and like it doesn't matter how they're laid out. At least they're the right words. Kind of corresponds with out of reach, but mean it differently. For example, going like this is what I fucking love. Gives an example. Means a different situation. Gives an example. Impact. You see what I want? Tahz, you see what I want? Gooch. It applies to you as well later, not now, because you still need to build the understanding of how to read the game. It's a lot of fucking dago, dude.
Okay.
For example, going up when there's no chance of making a good necessary hit. That depends. Sometimes just for going up for the sake of going up to apply pressure is also very useful. Even if you can't make a hit, you force your opponent on a position. But you have to plan that. You have to know that you're going up, not expecting a hit, but you're blocking a path for the ball. Let's say blocking a path to the goal, or blocking a path to to their teammate.
Mhm.
As long as you know why you're going up, that's the important reason. If you're going up for the sake of going up, that's garbage. Being in each other's space when you can be in your own space. Well, obviously having your own space is kind of fucking nice. Stand still, slow down more. Yes, contrary to popular belief, going full headless chicken is not the fucking strat. It's pointless half the time. For Gooch, let me explain to you what I mean, because you haven't gone through this.
And I do play like an headless chicken.
You do
Oh,
play
God.
like a headless chicken. However, it's fine. An example, you have two teammates here and you're driving here. Don't go here, don't go here. There's no point. You just sit here. You can patiently sit and wait here. You can stand still and wait.
That's
For
really
your
hard to
opponent.
learn.
Like it
It was so hard.
It took them 2 months and they're still doing it. Like they're
Yeah.
still sometimes doing it. It's unbelievably difficult to understand that you can stand still, and it's infinitely more efficient than doing this. Fucking playing NASCAR and then having a fucking sad snail. You know? Then just make sad snail. Don't make NASCAR. We're not playing a fucking racing game here. We're playing Rocket League. A soccer. Do you run around in soccer like this?
Some people do, but
Yeah, some people do, but it's fucking stupid. Like, if you think about it, in soccer, you usually position yourself in the highest efficiency position to cover the most field around you. So you can get to it at will, depending on your speed, pace, awareness, and understanding of the game.
yeah, you
So-
don't rush everything.
Yeah, because
You stand still.
you get fucking, you die. You'd fucking, your
Yeah.
heart rate would go to 350 and you'd fucking explode, you know? You can't do that. So here's a simple move up logic, right? Just a very basic breakdown of logic for Gooch. This is going to be in recording, so you're going to have to rewatch this multiple times and think about it. Don't move up like this. Because you can't go there. There's nothing here. You see, there's nothing here. Move up like this. Use mini pads. Because if you need to go here, you can. If you need to go here, you can. But if you're going like this, look at it's twice the distance. And it serves exactly the same purpose. When you move up, let's say this is blue is our field. You have a teammate here and you have a teammate here. You're rotating back. You have two options. If you can see that your teammate is gonna have a big fat clear, you can call cutting and then use the next mini pad to cut. That's fine. But under no circumstances you do this shit. Because that's space. And you laugh, but you do this all the time.
That's why I'm laughing.
You do this all the time. You cannot do that. Like, you have to, even if they can't touch the ball, you can't go there.
Yeah.
Unless they explicitly call, I can't. Like, this guy calls no, this guy calls no, and they start moving out, then you can cut into cover. But that's a cover move. It's not a cut move. You cannot cut in the people. Your job would be to rotate back post or front post.
Okay.
Another quick tip. Don't rotate like this. It's the most useless defensive position ever invented in the fucking game.
I do know that.
It's so bad. I don't understand where the hype... Like, why do people imagine that rotating here is gonna be way better than being here? Or let's say here, at worst being here. Like, facing the ball. Facing the
Try to
situation.
go back post every time. It is a lot better. I do not. That is one thing I do not do. Just going into the net and turning around.
It's like, it's so bad. People like invent logic that I've never seen. Like, what's the purpose? The moment you're sliding like this, you're useless. Between this and this point, you have nothing. While here, you go in, you're immediately defending. Immediately defending. So you save this much time, which means you can rotate a little bit later, which means you can gain a little bit more boost. Obviously, there are a few situations when you're 1v2 when defending here is better because you can reach both sides, but that's a wild card. It's like the final card because as soon as you defend that, you're going to be stuck on the wall in the middle of the goal and you can't really do much.
Yeah.
From back post, you have access to backboard, you have access to midfield rotations, to various types of mini pad rotations that you so desire, or you don't desire, but you need to start being in desire of mini pads. And it's simple as that. That's the crash course of how to rotate and move around. Use mini pads. Don't rotate into the middle of the goal. Lower mid is broken OP. Upper mid if you have a lot of confidence. Don't go into your teammates' field of vision, or, well, not field of vision, space. If you see two teammates in front of you, don't move there. Simple as that. Okay, we got we got through that. We somehow got through that. That was a lot of deviation from the process, but we kind of needed to do that. Do you need more explanation? Do you need? Yeah, I said we're not gonna even finish the one replay. It's just not possible. Do you need more explanations on points or not? Because I don't know if I can explain some points differently. No, I don't. I've coached this game for a very long time. I know what you mean. Have some faith in me. Yes, I'm being a little bit cocky, but I'm also being confident with my abilities. Anyway, let's give Impact at least one situation before we fucking wrap this shit up. Why do you have... What kind of engine is that? Why do you have a muscle? Why do you have a muscle car engine on an Octane?
Why did everyone bully Impact?
I can't hear it.
That fucking trips me out. I'm looking. What the fuck happened?
He's got a dirty mustache and now he's got a bad car engine.
Hey, thanks, man.
Honestly, just honestly, I think it sounds kind of cool. But it's just so weird. It's just so fucking weird. Get fucking wrecked in back. So that's a good contest. So you look infield here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I want. Well, that's, you kind of can't avoid that. You kind of can't avoid that. So reasonable.
Boom.
What the fuck? What did you have to say? Boom.
Yeah. Right off the spawn, you don't want to flip. You don't need to flip here. You just rotate into the back post.
Oh. That's stupid.
Slow down. Take a wider angle. Can any of the opponents contest this ball?
No.
No. No, they can't. So if you take slightly wider line, it's fine. And it's important to recognize that. So how would you approach the situation here? This would be just take a little bit longer. Could you even leave that for Mittaen?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, you could have just left that for Mittaen and you could have left that for Mittaen. Slow down here. And Mittaen could pass to you and it's an easy goal. Just to see how useful that rotation is, let's look at the fucking Spanish Inquisition. Like
straight away.
Yeah, but just look how much time that wastes. right? Look how much time. So he starts going here. So here he's not playing the game. He's not playing the game. He just stopped. That was a second of him doing this. And now he starts going with no momentum, right?
That's what I'm gonna say. He loses all his momentum as well, so he uses more boost to start up again.
Yeah. So if you do this, you can immediately go. You recognize easier. Like this is just a perfect example of why this is not an ideal scenario.
That's funny.
Sad, it's not funny, but it is how it is. Spanish Inquisition plays how they play, and I don't care. Oh, also, another crash course on how to rotate out of the opponent's net. Don't play NASCAR. We're not playing NASCAR here, okay?
Ball sack.
We're not doing that. This is what we call the ball sack rotation.
I
Okay.
love that one.
Because it's fucking
We actually
hilarious.
call that in game.
You actually call it in game because it's so because you know that you're gonna be rotating into middle within like pretty soon. And for example, you land here, you can go for this boost, but if this boost is not available, you rotate like this, or you know like this. The reason why you rotate through mini pads and why it's so critical is that if you need to cut at any given moment, you need to change a decision or anything, you have boost. But if you're going from this point to this point, until you reach this point, you can't do anything else.
Yeah.
It's good not wasting boost. Good call. Good clear. Good touch. Good.
Oh, that was bad.
That was a bad flip. There's no reason to do it. Nice dodge from Tahz. Yeah, here you wanted to move up into front post. Don't. Why? What do you see in front of you?
2 teammates.
What can't you do?
Challenge.
You can't challenge, you can't go there. The last point where you can be here is here. And you would ideally be facing that way and not that way. Do you know why?
So I can intercept. Maybe.
So you can intercept a play, so you can follow up on your opponents or teammates' hits, passes, etc. There's no reason for you to go there. If Mittaen can't make that hit while he's there, you shouldn't be able to make that hit either. If you just waited, let's say here, like this is relatively okay, but let's say I'm impact and I make a decision to stay here. I wait, and then I follow. You see? Gooch, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it's fucking the weirdest thing on the planet to stand still for 3 seconds in a game, but look how OP would that be here. It's the easiest challenge of your life. No one's contesting the ball. Danny is trying to push up. He wouldn't see you because he thinks that he needs to get the ball super fast. If I'm here, I'm waiting as impact. I'm not wasting any boost. I'm sitting on a mini pad, which means every 4 seconds I get 12 boost. Which means I could in theory get like 24 boost while I'm just waiting here. So while I'm patient, I also get resources by literally doing nothing. I'm drinking coffee and letting Mittaen do stupid shit while he's playing the game. And then it's like, oh look, I can play the game now. And I go for this ball. And then suddenly, Tahz can rush down the middle to set up for a pass. And that's an easy clap. Or Impact hits the ball like this. So I want to look at Tahz a little bit. A flip. Like, as soon as you get the ball, flip forward a little bit so you can get to this position faster. To lower mid.
Yeah.
You wanna rotate to lower mid a little bit faster. I don't know if I saved my replays when we played threes, but that's basically what I do, and I figured that getting into the lower mid as fast as possible is such a strong rotation.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what happens if Impact would have been patient. You could have had pressure, presence here, and it would have been an easy clap. And that's a horrible hit, Tahz. That's such a bad hit. So what would you need to make here? What do you think, what kind of hit would be useful here?
Well, maybe just keep it close to 50.
Keep it close to 50, that's not a bad idea. What else?
To do like close to the wall.
Boom it into the corner.
This, or try to boom it there.
Yeah. I wanted to follow up, but
Yeah, like you can't. Again, against maybe slightly slower opponents, sure. But that's the difference of adaptability and understanding. When you're playing against super fast opponents, let's call them headless chickens, you need to make decisions faster, and you need to forget that you can get 100% value out of every single touch. You can't. Try to make a simple touch, a strong touch, a quick play, something that has immediate value.
all right.
Try to think about a slightly short-term value and see how it goes from there. I'm not sure if this works. I haven't tested that. But that's what I came up with trying and analyzing and thinking. Trying to find a solution against faster teams is shorter-term value. Obviously, you need higher quality touches. And as we saw, if let's say if a smarter team would go back, assume that a faster team is not going to go back. We have to unfortunately make some degree of assumptions when we're making these decisions and we're playing this game. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Try to go for a slightly short-term value, and obviously you need a higher quality touch than that.
Mhm.
I would still go. I would still try and go for a block, even if there's a little chance, you know? Because you can't essentially do anything else. Tahz is going back. Mittaen is already in goal. You can't go back. Impact?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree on that.
Okay. So what is your thought process? Why do you not agree with that?
If I flipped into the ball, I would probably be out of the game. So it would take so long.
Yeah, but you are already out of the game. Like, so here you make a touch. If you follow it super fast and you flip into the ball, because if you look at this, like just if you look at this, that is very blockable and very gettable. You taking yourself out of the game when you make that hit and touching a block gives your team more time to make better decisions.
Mhm.
Does that make sense to you, or do you still disagree? If you
Yes,
disagree,
yes.
that's fine. We can, yeah, we can argue the point, because I like this. Like, okay, you disagree because you would be put out of the game. Yeah, I know, but sometimes again, stop getting 100% value out of every situation. I realized and I understood that we will not be able to play as cleanly with people who keep the ball closer to themselves and have a constant follow-up. So we need short-term value. Would contesting the ball here would be short-term value.
Mhm.
Who agrees with that?
I do.
Yeah.
Right? Right. It would be short-term value. It would give you a little bit more time to rotate.
Mhm.
Maybe the ball would go like this. And then it would be an easy clear. Then you wouldn't have, like, because you essentially give the ball away, give away so much presence, and Tahz, what the fuck are you doing, brother?
Yeah, I have no clue.
We're gonna get to that situation in a little bit. But yeah, that's the thing. Try to get, I know it's very difficult to adapt and to try use multiple playstyles against multiple teams, but that's kind of what we need. We cannot play the same one playstyle against every team. It's not gonna work.
Mhm.
Against our LCS teams, we have a playstyle that works really well, and we also have, and they also do a lot more better, smarter touches, which are easier to read. Because they're a little bit more predictable depending on a situation. Against teams who constantly follow up, etc. This, for me, is a super scary situation to give space to opponents. And even if in a short-term value, you would get a 50-50, that's fine. I want to see if that works. I don't know if it does. I honestly gonna tell you, I don't know if it works because I've never had a chance to try it. I've never had a team that could try it. Is that okay with you guys?
I mean, we are scrimming next tomorrow at 9.
Yeah, and it would be really nice to see if he playing for short-term small situational value, if it would allow us to beat them. If not, then I'm going to be sitting here and thinking, what else can we do? Obviously, we also need to make higher quality touches and stop whiffing open nets. It's kind of obvious. And obviously, Tahz needs to stop doing this. And see what I mean? Because of the situation that's happening right now, if you would have got a contest, maybe Tahz would have like, okay, I have a little bit more time. And that would have been his decision.
Yeah, but it was done by me though.
It was extremely dumb.
Even if this happened, it was retarded.
Yeah.
I apologize for that as well instantly.
That's fine. That's fine. There we go. What Impact said? That. This is a good follow. This is a really good follow-up and a really good playstyle here. Good clear. Immediate move up. That's really nice. That's what I want to see. Immediate move up. Immediate touch. Even if you had time, that's okay. But short-term value is making this touch. Obviously here would have been ideal if you landed the ball, took time, made him turn, etc, etc. But we cannot play like that. So following that logic, this is good. It's gonna be really tough for me to change my point of view in situations as well. It's not just your challenge, gentlemen, it's my challenge as well. Because to me, this is like insanely dumb. But if I think about it, you kind of need to make that hit here.
Yeah, it's really fucked because you expect, and like you're getting at the point that you expect them to go for everything. So
Which means you're just gonna have to
even-
play like that. And that's the point.
Yeah.
If you recognize the time, that you actually have time, that's the situations where you need to recognize that and abuse them.
yeah, we need to score then.
You need
Whenever
to
that
score
is.
that. Yeah, because it's such
So many chances.
it's such little opportunities like that. Which make it. Let's get to replay. What is our schedule looking like? Hold on. Which one of these
Should have a break now.
it's not the right thing. This. Should have a break right now to eat. Is it okay if I spend 5 more minutes?
Yeah, I'll just warm it up.
So
Warm it up again.
It's okay.
That's fine.
I ordered pizza, so I don't know when it's coming in.
Okay, so it's okay if we just
Yep.
do this a little bit, because I'm having a lot of fun. I'm sorry. Do you guys have? Is it fun for you?
Well, I
don't know
enjoy
if
this replay. No, it is because like we didn't perform and it was really weird to play.
Yeah, and now we can figure out why, and that's really
Yeah.
great. And again, this is good push. This is like, if this would be if this would be a better team, you don't want to do this because we'll
Yeah,
never
I
get
know.
to that ball. But if it's this type of team, you should do this, and we can see that short-term value is really strong. We make good situations, but after that, after the short-term value, we have to keep our smart rotations.
Mhm.
Wow, that's fucked. That's really hard.
I made it bet, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to dribble it
that's
up.
understandable. Yeah, I mean, like, they have to score it. That's pretty much, you just gave them a perfect opportunity to
yeah.
score. Nothing to do.
Well, what
I
is
mean,
it
if we-
so hard?
If we don't, wait, what?
I touched it with the middle of the car or something. It already exploded, but it's still there.
The goal line is here.
The explosion is on the goal line.
All right. Good talk. Well, let's get through this a little bit faster.
You've managed to spread out an hour to 2 minutes.
I mean, it's not spreading out. I don't know how to shorten. I
No,
don't know
that's
how
good.
to. Yeah.
I like it.
The people are like, there's nothing to analyze in Rocket League replay. Like, well, coaches are useless. Yeah.
One
good-
replay is like 2 hours.
Good luck trying to analyze this on your own at this level. Good luck. Go for it. If you can coach me for 2 hours on a replay, I'm fucking giving you a medal made out of chocolate. So you can eat it and feel better about yourself. Is that you should. Again, look at this. Gooch, look at this. Look how fucking terrifying that is. You stand still.
It is. Creepy.
And you should have stood still for longer.
Yeah.
Like you
thought
should
Impact
still
was going
here,
the back
here,
post and-
here, and now you go. See, you sit still for 5 seconds and you gain like 10 billion% value out of a touch.
I just want to play the game now. I just want to play and just start standing still.
Yeah, and you standing still is playing the game because you're not cutting off, you're not putting yourself out of position, you're not doing stupid shit, you can't rotate, you can't go grab boost because the situation is too close. So the only logical thing is not to do this. We don't do jiggly feet back and forth because that shit's super bad. You don't do that. You don't do that in goal. You stand still. Because if you do this and you get caught on your way back, you're fucked. Sure, if you catch the ball on your way forward, you're also fucked if the guy shoots here because you have too much momentum.
But if you stood still, what if you shoot at the right side of the goal?
Well,
Can you get enough
that's
like momentum to get to it? Or...
if it's a power shot, no. But if it's a really good shot in top right, then he kind of deserves to go.
Ah, fair enough.
And like I've said, there are a few situations when you want to position yourself here, and you can reach that.
Yeah.
But that's all you can do. You know.
You
Like
can't
it's
recover it.
like like the goal is made perfectly, like the game is made perfectly, so you won't be able to cover everything 100%. Just like goalies in real life, they cannot cover everything.
Yeah.
They cover
Yeah, they shoot at top bins.
like they cover most of the things, and it's just how it is. You cannot save every single ball. You cannot score every single goal. You have to understand it. Be aware of that. Why is that goal? How does that go in? Oh yeah, that's the right that. That's a good follow-up, good clear by Mittaen, and that's a good push from Impact. Don't do that.
Oh, that was bad, no. I thought it was behind me again. I always, if I play teams like this, sometimes I want to try and be too fast to beat them.
Yep.
So I expect them to be closer again.
Yeah, but you like again, if you feel like you're kind of going super fast, take a deep breath and slow down a little bit. Just a
And no,
little
it's
bit.
not about me. I expect them.
Yeah,
to,
that's
be
the
straight
point.
behind me.
Yeah, that's the point because you expect them because you are
Yeah,
caught in their fate, in their like you're chained into their in their pace.
Yeah.
So
If he was there, I had to do that. But
no, you didn't have to do that. What you had to do there is roll up the ball.
yeah,
That's what you have to do, is roll up the ball. So if you look at this, and the ball happens, and Nachito can hit that, you have more than enough time. You should actually leave this for Impact, so Impact can clear it to that side. But let's say you can't recognize that fast enough. You, like, if you get one of these situations in game and you do this, that's okay, but that should also be a warning and a point that, okay, we're playing a little bit too fast. Let me take a deep breath and make a smarter decision. Slightly smarter decision.
all right.
And it's so hard and it's so dynamic. Tell Flex to go away.
Fuck off.
Good job.
Nice.
Fuck off.
That's
What
toxic.
was that? Oh, I tried to bump.
Yeah, I think here you should just shoot.
Why didn't you jump? It's always hard.
Good demo. Let's look one more pre-goal situation because we recognize that it's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Or I want you guys to take a break, get some food, and you have scrims after immediately right now, right?
Yeah.
Nice touch.
Exality.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the same thing, impact. Just put your card there. Or try to deflect it that way.
I think I expected Tahz to go, so I didn't really know.
Well, you can't. Again, I guess if you expect the test to go, but just make a call. Yeah, just try to try to go after like behind the ball a little bit, so it would deflect that way.
I couldn't go as well. I didn't want to get into a space and just be too close.
To be honest, you were the defender.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean here. Like if you, like this is fine, and you go for it again, you put yourself out of the game, but short-term value is insanely powerful, right? This is exactly the same situation that, well, not exactly, but similar situation. That's, and again, like look how good this rotation is. You get a chance to save that and try to go for a deflect. What the fuck's happening with this side? Yeah, just fucking jiggly feet. Alright, gentlemen, that would be the analysis. So what do we need to do? What did we learn from this?
Short-term value is important against these teams.
Less mechanic mistakes.
I don't know that. I assume that it should be very strong.
I mean, we're going to try it.
We need to try and test that out. Yeah, we need to try and test it out.
We're playing Exality, so that's
Can I
basically
go
the
get
same.
my food now?
Just wait. I want you to summarize everything before you go.
Well, basically,
Less mechanic mistakes.
Well, yeah, that's just kind of fucking hit your shots, dude. I can't really, like, that's a meme, but just score the open nets, okay? Lol. Well, I can't really do anything about that.
Slow down if you're going too fast with these teams.
If you recognize that you made a touch that puts them into an advantage, that's where you need to take a deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
take your time, but don't take your time against these teams.
Don't get 100% value.
Wait.
And what do you mean by wait?
Like you said, if Mittaen pushes the, if he pushes, and I'm mid.
Yeah. So you
go,
so you need to recognize when you can move up. If you see like it's the same thing. Don't go into someone else's pace. If you see someone's there, let him make a hit. Be a little bit more patient. It's so hard because this gameplay is a bungee. It goes back and forth, back and forth. You drag it out and then you get dragged into super fast pace. It's inconsistent. Against pro teams, it's way more consistent and deviation is way less. That's why gaining short-term value is important, but when you do have time, make sure to take all the time that you can to set up a good play, because that's your short-term opportunities. And obviously, stop setting up the balls for your opponents so they can get free goals. That would be it, gentlemen. I'm gonna be uploading this replay, this VOD immediately. You can watch it before going to sleep or whatever the case is. And yeah, take a break. I might not be here doing scrims. I don't know. I will try to do my best. And yeah, that would be it.